Discuss the novella Maggie, a Girl of the Streets is an 1893 novella by American author Stephen Crane. Uh, the story centers on Maggie, a young girl from the Bowery who is driven to unfortunate circumstances by poverty and solitude. The work was considered risky by publishers because of its literary realism and strong theme. Crane, who was 22 years old at the time, uh, financed the book's publication himself, although the original 1893 edition was printed under the pseudonym Johnstone Smith. After the success of 1893, the Red Badge of Courage, Maggie was reissued in 1896, was considerable changes and rewriting. The story is followed by George Mother. So now we discuss about the plot summary. That is the story open with Jimmy at this point, a young boy trying by himself to fight a gang of boys from a opposing neighborhood. He is saved by his friend Petey and comes home to his sister Maggie, his toddling brother Tommy, his brutal and drunken father and mother Mary Johnson. The parents, Irish immigrants, terrifying the children until they are shuddering in the corner. Years pass. Tommy and his father die as Jimmy hardens into a searing, aggressive, cynical youth. He gets a job as a teamster, having no regard for anyone but fire trucks who would run him down. Maggie begins to work in a salt factory, but her attempts to improve her life are undermined by her mother's drunken rags. Maggie begins to date Jimmy's friend Petey, who has a job as a bartender and seems a very fine fellow. Convinced that he will help her escape the life she leads, he takes her to the theater and the museum. One night, Jimmy and Mary accuse Maggie of going to Daredevil, essentially kicking her out of the tenement, throwing her lot in with Petey. Jimmy goes to Petey's bar and picks a fight with him, even though he himself has ruined other boys' sister. As the neighbors continue to talk about Maggie, Jimmy and Mary decide to join them in bad-mouthing her instead of defending her. Later, Neil, a woman of brilliance and audacity, convinces Petey to leave Maggie, who she calls a little pale thing with no spirit, thus abandoned. Maggie tries to return home but is rejected by her mother and scorned by the entire tenement. In a later scene, a prostitute implied to be Maggie wanders the streets, moving into progressively worse neighborhood until reaching the river. She is followed by a grotesque and savvy man. The next scene shows Petey drinking in a saloon with six fashionable women of brilliance and audacity. He passes out whereupon one, possibly Neely, takes his money. In the final chapter, Jimmy tells his mother that Maggie is dead. The mother exclaims ironically as the neighbors comfort her, "I will forgive her." So that's all about the novella Maggie, a Girl of the Streets.